Well, football is a that was quite funny, when you see all those things that actually happen there. It's light-hearted, and people are need that sort of thing in this world to have a lot of fun and a lot of laughter. And but there's sometimes something that we've all got to look at, and that is the fact that to many people in this country and probably around the world, football is a religion, it is a belief, and they really sacrifice everything for it, and they'll travel anywhere to see it, etc. But is it a fulfilling belief? Does it answer the major questions in life? And I think that I've been a yachtsman all my life, and it's fine. We used to enjoy yachting, and I used to surf, and we used to do all sorts of things, play rugby, etc. But they don't actually answer the big questions in life. And like, why was I born, and what am I doing here? In my existence, and I'm getting older now, I've known many men who have become completely disoriented, and some have committed suicide because they weren't sure who they were. One particular guy upset his aircraft stability on the trim on the back and flew the whole thing into the ground with a note saying, he didn't know who he was and what he was, and it was. So what I'm talking about is actually a very serious thing. Some men may have a bereavement, or something actually happens which upsets them, and women as well. I'm not just talking about men. And they suddenly start hitting the bottle, and they get drunk, and they just completely fall off the wagon. They just completely. I've seen that happen to a lot of people I've known, and these are very high up people. They just get to a point and say, "What's it all about?" And it's about time that people actually looked. A lot of people should look at this, and that's why I put that site up there, so that you can start to understand that the Bible is not a myth, and the name of the God of the Bible is not God, because that is a title. It's like Lord is not the name either. Lord, these two names were put in place there, and this is fully recognized in all your research works and in your in the lexicons and various books like the Encyclopedia Britannica, Judaica, and of course the Catholic Encyclopedia. They all recognize this, that name was replaced 6,800 times and more than that by the words Lord and God. And they did that because the Jews suddenly decided, after the captivity perhaps, or just before that, that the name Yahweh was too holy. And so they didn't want anybody even pronounce it from their lips, so the ear could hear. So nobody knows about that. No Jew will discuss Yahweh with you. However, they do recognize it because once a year, at the Day of Atonement, I think it is, Passover, they go to that wall and they scream Yahweh and shout to Yahweh once a year. So they recognize it. It's part of their belief system, but they'll never tell you. And that is why we got Lord and God. And Lord, actually, if you go into the history books, the lexicons, and the research works, is the name of Baal. And Yahweh completely tells you do not worship Baal. As a matter of fact, in the book of Ezekiel, it says, "I'll take the Baal-isms out of your mouth at the end time, and you will know that what my name is." Now, that if it says you'll know what his name is at the end time, that presupposes that you didn't know before. And all those books, the whole Bible is an end-time book, actually, because prior to that, I mean, even up to the end of the Middle Ages, you couldn't actually get a copy of the Bible anywhere, and if you'd even looked at it and touched it, you're likely to be burnt at the stake as a heretic, because that was left to the priest, and the priest didn't ever talk about it either. And then, of course, even when it was translated in this country, just prior to that, various men had been burnt at the stake for even looking at it and reading it. And they put it in such an ancient language, as Pharaoh Fenton said, who did a translation over here, and I've got his translation. He said, that probably only the people in northern Cumbria could understand some of the language it was done in. So what I've done here is I've created this site here from YouTube information, because YouTube's got fabulous information there, and stuff that men have been very frustrated about finding in the dust of the earth, and archaeologists, etc. Plus a lot of other stuff, which will help you understand that the Bible is not a myth, but an actual fact. And if you can rely on the physical, you can definitely rely on the spiritual messages got in it as well. Thank you very much.